After nearly 30 years protecting La Crosse, Lieutenant Dan Marcoux is now preserving law enforcement history one book at a time. He's joining us live now to tell us about his series, Law Dogs. Good morning. Thank you for being here this morning.
You're very welcome. Thanks for having me, Alexandra.
Yes, we're excited to hear your story. So after retiring, you started writing about forgotten law enforcement heroes. Why do you think these stories got lost?
Well, after the headlines drift into the archives, and then historians decide who's going to be remembered and how they're going to be remembered, Hollywood as well. And historians have chosen to remember the James Gang, the Dalton Gang, Dillinger, Bonnie and Clyde, and Ted Bundy. And what I did is I decided, hey, let's remember the officers that stopped and saved the community from these pariahs.
Interesting.
Like Bass Reeves and Frank Hamer and all the long list, Katie Conway, of men and women who gave their lives sometimes and dedicated their lives to making a community safer.
Yeah, there's a whole other side to those stories.
All right,
Very
and that's the story I've chose to write.
Okay.
So your research has separated fact from fiction. So you've got legends like Wyatt Earp. So tell us, how did that affect your work there?
Well, Wyatt Earp has been distorted by history, so I tell a true story of Wyatt Earp. And for example, that led me to discovering his mentor by the name of Bob Paul. Now, Bob Paul I never heard of, and so I looked into Bob Paul, and his impact he had, his 50-year career in law enforcement, makes Wyatt Earp look like a rookie. I mean, it's exciting, and he became chapter 1 in Law Dogs 2.
Okay. All right. Very interesting there. And so officers call one of your books the Bible of Survival. What makes it so valuable to officers today?
Well, I spent 33 years as a police officer learning and developing tactics that kept me safe. And then I became a trainer by request and trained for another 33 years, actually 40 years. And somewhere along the line, 2017, Caliber Press asked me to do Street Survival 2. I said, okay, I'll do Street Survival 2. And what officers in it are these tactics that not only tell you how to shoot, but how to talk, how to contact people, how to care for people and care for yourself. And so officers have discovered that this book has helped them survive physically, legally, and emotionally, and not just survive their careers, but thrive in their careers. And they're the ones that call it the Bible of Survival, and must read for law enforcement.
Okay.
So also, one thing, I'll ask you about Bass Reeves later on, because isn't he supposed to be like the actual Lone Ranger? Yeah?
Yeah, he's my favorite. And I think I'm most honored to have reintroduced him to the United States. And now he has a statue.
Right.
There's a series on him because he was forgotten, and he shouldn't have been. He's the best of all of us. That's all there is to it. He's the most, in my opinion, the most honorable, the most courageous, the most indomitable law enforcement that I have ever read about. And I would love to have known him, and in a certain extent I do.
Yeah, you got to know him.
Bass Reeves, I believe, is the Lone Ranger. He always rode with a Native American. He gave out silver coins. He rode a horse that looked white. And they said he was so tough.
Right.
Okay.
He could spit on a brick and bust it.
Oh, wow. Okay. Very tough guy. All right. So you've got the 2 books, The Law Dogs here, and then the Survival Guide we were talking about. Are all of these available on Amazon, or how can people find your books?
Amazon.com, type in books by Dan Marcoux, and you'll get them all. And by the way, Law Dogs 2 has a section of La Crosse officers in it
okay,
as well.
just in here for the La Crosse officers. All right, well, thank you so much for being here, sharing your story of these stories with us. We really appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me.
No problem. Stay with us. We're back right after this.